Good evening. Welcome on in to the evening edition of From Day One. Yes, there is a new pet, Rex, the skeleton boy, coming in. But when we last left each other, we have a lady who's pleading guilty, basically, no contendere, to a felony that could get her life in prison. The plea agreement that she's been able to get for herself would go ahead and basically get her off scot free, except for a little probation. And yet she's fighting that tooth and nail. So we return to finding out spatula or knife, and is she going to talk herself out of this sweetheart deal?
Or are you just going to stand mute? Uh, Once again,
I
the,
am
the,
objecting.
otherwise, he'll be entitled to present more evidence into the record. And that may or may not be what
Generating a statement.
you feel is in your best interest in the end game of what you were trying to complete here.
I don't think she
Because
knows.
each element of the offense that constitutes the offense, there has to be some evidence to support it under a no contest plea.
So the statement that I saw, this wasn't in the record. This was in the record. So I will refer to the additional second page. The one page was the only thing that was in the record.
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
So let me look real fast.
Yes, ma'am.
What's the number we're at, Judge?
I'm sorry,
What exhibit number are we at?
I've got Courts Exhibit 1, which is the election to self-represent, and that's been admitted. You've got States Exhibit 1 is the only thing I have. Then we also have here, well, there's two States Exhibits. One, this is going to be number 2. The States Exhibit 1 was part of the plea papers. We're going to call this
Let's make
States
that
Exhibit.
3.
You want this 3?
Yes, sir, because State's Exhibit 1 is the judicial admission. Court's admonishment as to,
Is courts, it's
Courts
courts 1.
we've got States 1 should be the admonishment within the plea.
Where's States 2?
Let's make that States 3, which you have in your hand.
Okay.
This will make this
3
States 2.
is what's already been introduced and admitted as States 1. We have corrected that to States 3 because States 1 is part of the plea papers that are already in evidence. So where's your States Exhibit 2?
States 2 is being
Tender,
reviewed
yeah.
by the defendant. It is a statement from Natasha Coleman.
Natasha Coleman identifies it as a spatula, not a knife. It's a spatula that she mentions. I still, object to the swinging. I object. She says spatula again. Let's see. And I charged at her. I object to that. At no point did she say on the 911 call that I charged her. She said there were other people in the facility that possibly could have gotten charged with anything. I was walking around. That's when we saw right outside. When we saw a fire marshal truck pull up, that's when I asked him if I can get the police here sooner. We went back to his truck to make a call, and they came back inside the store and I approached her. She began to swing the spatula at the fire. She wasn't there. There was no female standing there.
So was it a knife or was it a spatula?
So I object to her statement, page 2. I object to the fact I really agree to the spatula that she mentions in her statement.
That still doesn't make the element of the offense, which is a deadly weapon was used, which she's pleading no contest to. The States Exhibit 2 is also introduced into evidence, but it's objected to by the defense in her version of the facts.
And the state's position is those are not legal objections. Those are her saying that something happened differently in an attempt to try to testify to the court.
I understand.
This-
I understand your
Yes, Your Honor.
objection. They're admitted
Thank you.
under the method of this plea. She's pleaded no contest and understands what that means under the law, and that the elements have been supported by not only her plea, but states 2 and 3, which is the
You tell him, Your Honor.
I'm going to make the following findings that the defendant has pleaded no contest and understands
No contender.
and it's pleaded voluntarily, knowingly, intelligently, understands what that means, that it is not admitting guilt, but with independent evidence under states exhibit 1, 2, and 3 to support the no contest plea. That is enough to find the defendant guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. It is not usable, though, under any civil matters which may be brought about pursuant to the underlying facts and allegations of this case, but it does support the elements of the crime to find the defendant guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. However, I'm going to follow this plea agreement and defer any finding of guilt and place the defendant on deferred or unadjudicated probation. Again, here are the deferred or adjudication orders, which are normal and customary for this type of offense. And this is for a term of 10 years. You do well, it is shortened in 1/3.
Yeah.
And I dismiss cases, deferred adjudication orders are not terminated like regular probation, they are dismissed. That's how they end, with a dismissal of the case. I do that
Others, that's how we
literally every
reward
day.
you.
85% of our cases are either terminated or dismissed. Most of our probation are deferred or unadjudicated, the large portion of them. And you will sign these orders. Please see the probation officer. You will review them. Once you sign, you will begin this, and the quicker it begins, the quicker it's sent. Do you understand what has happened today, Ms. Davis?
Yes, just one quick question. Post-sentence investigation fee of $500. Is that after everything's done?
I don't need that. We're gonna pass on that one. Because I think I don't have the kind of information I've been given in this case, in most of these cases. And what that does is that fee goes out to determine any conditions, any additional conditions of probation that are necessary. And our goal is to assess conditions of probation, which can ensure our high rate of success of probation. Okay, so that is all.
We're not conducting one at all.
No, it's not necessary in this case. I think the court has enough to understand, and the element, the conditions that we've added in there, I think will be enough to have a successful end in this deferred or unadjudicated probation.
What about the inside the home every day between 10 and 6 a.m., 10 p.m. and 6 a.m.?
These are normal conditions, Your Honor. It's your probation. If you want to change it, you can.
She needs to make a living.
Well, it's except for employment purposes. So that was a work exception to the curfew. So it shouldn't impact her job.
Well, what's they say to that on this case?
As long as she provides proof that she needs to be working during that hour, I have no problems with it being exempted. I don't want to deviate from the standard rules, John. And as I understand them, that condition is this department always
What's the
department.
curfew? 10-6?
10 PM to 6 AM this one.
I don't know any lawyer that's practicing law between 10 PM and 6 AM unless they're at their office working overtime.
I'm trying to understand the part about being a licensed attorney in the state and having never done anything in the past, have no criminal record, having to now not be able to go out after 10 PM. I mean, I think it's a red flag to say, you know, I'm also with the state bar. I am an instructor. I am on the planning committee in Austin. So I think that it wouldn't, you know.
All of those needs will be exceptions to the rule of you having to be in, like I generally am, from 10 to 6.
Married.
I'm married too.
You guys don't go out at night, so that would be my only objection to this. I saw anger management and I saw the 10, and then also
Be just a few
Um,
seconds, guys. We'll have
I
the
do
video
have a
game
question
back.
in regards to complete job search as directed.
Yeah, you have it. That's for people who don't have a job.
Okay, and then be inside the home every day between 10 PM for 10 years.
You're not gonna be, you won't be under the supervision for 10 years. I'm pretty certain.
I clicked the wrong button. Just a few seconds. I'll have
No,
it back up.
It is a problem for 3 years. Yeah,
Okay, well, I will.
hold on for just a second.
They
For
said
3
she's
little over
trying
3
to get
years.
out of this
But
like an idiot.
here's what happens. Here's what happens, ma'am, every day. I get calls or sent emails asking for exceptions by people who have personal matters that they need to take care of. And I approve them in every, my question, the only question I ask for the probation office is, are they fine and are they doing well on their terms of probation? And you make a request. If you're doing well on probation, generally it's approved. And these are all personal requests. It has nothing to do with work. And I approve them as long as it's,
Submitting a literacy testing, I mean, I'm.
you're gonna,
doing nice-
that's to ensure that the people do understand and know the terms of probation. But most of those are not gonna be, they're not gonna waste their time on people who obviously are illiterate.
Do not leave Jefferson County without permission of the community supervision. I don't live here. I live in Harris.
Harris County is where it's your home county.
So initially Harris County.
Johnny, she's writing on the
Not
document.
change my order. I will.
This is your order. I thought it was your
It
document.
was, it was thus the judge. of the
I've signed that.
house.
Don't write on it.
Sorry
write
about
on it.
that.
But it's home, it's your home county, not Jefferson. It's just printed in there. They change it. They just can't do it that quickly, but they'll change it to adapt to your personal needs.
Wait
Yeah.
a minute then. I'm
Yeah,
confused.
it's Harris County.
It's Harris County.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
can we have that on the document so that they,
That's gonna be changed.
During the intake, so this is not the intake, this is just an instruction on where to go as soon as. you
Oh,
get here.
God.
And you'll communicate this information to the officer that you speak to during the intake.
Mhm.
And they'll.
Yeah,
assess
because
those
we have
needs,
5,000
communicate to the clerk
probationers.
Those changes. as
We-
needed.
It's
So they'll-
it's generally a Xerox copy that then gets changed as you are being processed into the probation system.
and this is for everyone that comes. to the
Everybody.
Board of Adjudication.
And nothing but everybody, so help me God.
Okay,
Amen.
so let me look and see. So I go here, close from noon to 1. And.
Here, why don't you work with her, work with him out there? I've got these other people I've got to get done, Mr. Patterson.
And that does seem to be all of them. However, I think I do have a very quickie. Okay, so we can go to finish ourselves out. Let me check real quick. Yep, Van, get over here. My good friend Van Bellion with a sub 4 minute guy who talks himself, Van, you tell him.
How are you?
Good.
Sorry, you are
Constable Burkholder.
Constable Burkholder.
Yep.
You are served, my friend.
Yep, that's fine.
No, you can take that, sir.
Yep. Can you open the door?
No, sir. You're on my property. Take that, please.
You're under arrest. You heard me. You're under arrest. You have a warrant.
You heard me.
Okay.
You've been served. You better read that.
You're under
Listen.
arrest. You understand that?
Yes,
Okay.
I understand what you're saying,
Unlock the door.
and you're saying I'm under arrest.
Yes.
For what?
You have a warrant
For what?
for multiple charges. I'll read them to you when we get back to
That's
the car.
for the person. I'm not the person, sir. I am a
Okay.
man. Okay.
You understand that?
I suggest you
You're
read
under
that
arrest.
warrant because you are liable.
If you're
right
not
now.
going to get out, I'm
You're
going to
being-
break the window and pull you out. Do you
Yes.
understand that?
I understand that.
Okay.
You're being monitored. Okay.
Your audio video recorded as well.
Okay.
Okay.
I need to get
Open
her
the
in the
window.
house.
Open the window.
I need to get her in the house.
Who are you?
I'm Ashlyn. his
My daughter.
Okay. Just hang
So
tight for
what
a
is the
quick sec.
warrant for, sir?
I'd have to go look at it.
Okay, you're gonna have to go look at it, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm not leaving here.
Yeah, no, you.
Okay, it's
get
obstruct
out.
police
Don't get
officer.
Pardon me.
Obstruct is one of them.
Okay.
Multiple charges on the warrant. Rob, daughter's on the passenger side. You want to get her out?
She's gonna get out in a second.
Yep.
No. Listen. Listen, sir.
You can open the door and get out.
Hey, listen,
Okay,
sir.
Out.
Listen, sir.
Out. Out.
Listen, sir.
Now.
Do I have the right to remain silent?
Right now.
Holy
Get
shit.
out of the car. Get on the ground.
Okay, I'm getting down. Jesus, man.
Put your hands behind your back.
Uh-huh.
Hands behind your back.
I'm trying.
Put your hands behind
Ashton,
your back.
take my phone, please.
Give it to her. I'll give it to her. Relax.
Thank
Put
you.
your hands behind your back.
And put it in my pocket.
Dad, I'm good. I have it.
I need it in my pocket so I can have it at the
make sure
police
you have it.
station.
I'll get it. We're fine.
Moving, sir. This is unfortunate for you.
What's it? Why is that?
So, this is a Canadian sovereign citizen who claims to be immune from arrest, being arrested on multiple warrants by Stratford Police in Ontario. This video was posted to subreddit Am I Being Detained, so shout out to the poster there. But it was initially posted to a toxic Telegram account linked to self-proclaimed Queen of Canada, Romano Di Giulio. Now, I haven't covered this self-proclaimed
Romano, I haven't heard of her in a while. What do you got on her?
queen on my channel yet, but Team Skeptic has, so I will drop a link to his video in the description below, so you can all see for yourself how crazy she is. Anyway, this quote-unquote queen
Yeah, she
equips
is
her army
fucking crazy.
like this guy with fake cease and desist orders, which their monarchs decreed from her mobile home, will turn the tables on cops. However, this video goes to